Namo Uvachayarnam Namo Loe Savasahurnam Eso Panchanamukaro Savapavapanasano Mangalanancha Savvesim Padhamam Havai Mangalam.
Ashvi, you want to say Arhanto? Darshanam, sorry. Darshanam Devadevasya.
Darshanam Devadevasya. Darshanam Papanashanam. Darshanam Swarga Sopanam. Darshanam Moksha Sadhanam.
Mahi, Arhanto.
Arahanto Bhagavan Ta Indra Mahita Siddhastasi Distita Acharya Jinasa Sano Natikara Puja Upadhyayaka Shri Siddhanta Supapaka Munivara Ratnatraya Radhaka Panchethe Paramestinat Pratidinam Kuravantu vo Mangalam Kuravantu vo Mangalam.
Diya is there? She can say Prabhuji Maharaj.
Yeah, she's there. She's just.
We cannot see you, beta.
Prabhuji Maharaj, Premati Namo, Murti Tare, Jovine Tharu, Are O Prabhu, Baba me Karya, Shruta Shave, Mahari Dasha, Dinanathaji. दुख क्या पजो भविक जीवन शांति आप जो स्वामी जी स्वामी महाराज गुण गाऊ छु नित्य तारा.
Aditya, you want to say Adimam? Aditya, you're on mute.
No.
Oh, now he's unmuted. We cannot hear you.
Speak loudly.
We cannot hear you, Aditya. Aditya?
Unmute, please.
I think you have unmuted, but I see you unmuted, but I cannot hear you. Maybe keep your laptop a little bit closer. No, we still cannot hear you.
He's not saying anything. Are you saying anything?
Are you saying something? He is saying. Okay, Samiksha, you want to say Adimam? Or actually, Ashvi? Ashvi, we did Adimam Prithvinathan,
you want to,
right?
Leave and join again? Try doing that, Aditya.
Maybe leave and join again. Huh? That will be better. Ashvi.
Adimam Prithvinatha, Madimam Nishpahigraha, Madimam Tirthanatham Cha, Shri Rishabhaswami Namastvaha, Shri Rishabhaswami Namastvaha.
Samiksha. Shantinath Bhagwan Stuti. You remember it?
Yeah. Sudha Sodarya Shyutsna Nirmali Kritatin Mukha Mrugalakshmatam Ha Shanti Shantinatha Jinostubaha.
Good. Very nice. Yadu Pancha, Aditya is back.
Can you speak? See if we can hear you now.
No, okay.
What do you have? You don't have...
I see you unmuted, but your mic is not working. Try now. We still cannot hear you. I don't know. We cannot hear you, Aditya.
You want to
So
try joining, like you can keep the video on, and if you want, try joining on the phone. Do you want to try that?
I'll restart Zoom. That's what Aditya is saying. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, no.
So Samiksha, go ahead. Yaduvansha.
यदुवंश समुद्रेन्दु कर्म कक्ष हुताशन अरिष्टनेमिर्भगवान् भूयो धोरिष्टनाशन.
All right. How about Kamathe Dharanendra? You want to say it, Mahi and Dia?
What stuti?
Kamathe Dharanendra.
Okay. Kamathe dhanendra cha svochitam karma kurvati prabhustulya manovritti pashanatha shiyesavaha.
Very good. All right. And Veera Sarvasura Surendra. How about you want to say that one, Mahi?
Sure, I'll say it. Veera sarva sura surendra mahito Viram Buddha Samshita Virena Bihata Swakarma Nichaya Viraya Nityam Nama Viratirthamidam Pravrittamatunam Virasya Ghoram Tapo Vire Shri Dhruti Kirti Kanti Nichaya Shri Virabhadram Disha Shri Virabhadram Disha.
Very good. You remember it.
I
Nice.
think Aditya, we might be able to hear you now.
Aditya, do you want to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Finally. Okay. It's really soft though. So you have to speak up probably. Anguthe. Ashvi, you want to say Gautam Swami Stuti, Anguthe, Amrutvase? What?
अंगोथे अमृत बसे लब्धि तण बंदा श्री गुरु गौतम समरिये मनवांचित फल दाता.
Aditya, Arhad Vaktra.
Arahada Bhaktra Prasutam Ganatara Dwadeshangam Vishalam Chitram Bhavarta Yuktam Munigana Rushabhe Dwaharitam Bhuti Madhi Mokshagravara Bhutam Ratachala Nafalam Nea Bhava Pradipam Bhaktya Nityam Prabhade Shatamahakilam Sarvaloke Kasayam.
All right. You want to continue?
प्रभु दर्शन करवावनी दर्पण पूजा विशाल आत्मदर्पण तीजुए दर्शन होय तत्काल आत्मदर्पण तीजुए दर्शन होय तत्काल.
Jai Jinendra, everyone. So I think we have everyone here. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll start with the Gen 24/7 sheets. Sheets. You have it?
So I don't have for the ITOT people.
No, not for the ITOT, but for the Jain genes. It is a summary. No? Okay, so these are the totals for the weeks that we've been counting the points so far. So we have Ashvi with the highest points. She's been entering everything and she's been doing everything regularly every day. So congratulations, Ashvi. Very nice. And I hope you continue it. Dia and Mahi have not entered anything. So we have zeros here. If you don't enter anything till the end of the month, then it will be considered as zero. Okay. You won't be allowed to enter something later on.
Entering, or you're not doing
I
also?
think they are doing it. Are you doing anything every day? Don't mute all the time. Just keep your phones, your devices unmuted so you don't have to keep unmuting it all the time.
We are, but
I cannot hear you,
We
Mahi.
are, but
sometimes we forget to enter it in.
Okay, sometimes, but it's like nothing is entered. It's zero. So that doesn't work, okay? It has to be entered. Only then it, because I'm not omniscient yet, and I have a long way to go. So I don't know what you're doing on a daily basis. So we need to make sure it's all entered. Heath has been entering. He's just joined the class and he's been entering quite a bit and he's been doing his daily practices. And you've been in the class the longest, Dia and Mahi. So I'm sure you're doing it, but you're just forgetting to enter it. And then we have some new stuff that we have started from this month. So we want to make sure the Tithi stuff is done. And we have Aditya here who has been consistently entering everything. He's been doing his daily practices. Everyone in the ITOT class is doing their daily practices. So I want Aditya to tell us how he manages to do everything every day. And how do you fit it into your routine? I know you are like a lot busier than any of the Jain Genes students, right? So as you get older, you have more responsibility, you have more classes. Ask Samiksha. She feels like she is going to crack open with her head. It's like so much going on all the time, right? So Aditya, how do you manage to do everything on a daily basis? Can you tell us, like, what do you do every day? Talk a little bit loudly so we can hear you, okay?
Well, like I have like some, you have to make a habit of doing stuff to do it on a regular basis. So like when I first was here, like I didn't do that much, but I slowly built up. And second thing I do is I have a calendar on my phone. Like when I open my phone, there's a calendar of like the dates, like if there's a Kalyanak or like if there's Strodas or stuff like that. So when I open my phone, I see like what's today. And then let's say there's a Kalyanak chant, I have a poster, like I have a paper of what to say in my room. So like if I have to say something, I can just read off the paper. And
That's the Kalyanak mantra that you say, right?
yeah. So
Now, you've got your phone like just recently, right? You're old and you've gotten your phone like maybe a few months back. But what did you do before that? Because these kids are young, they don't have phones yet, and thank goodness they don't. So, what do you advise them to do? What did you do before you had your phone?
So sometimes I ask my auntie to post the calendar on the group chat.
Thanks for the reminders you send me. He's so on top of it. He sends me reminders that, hey, auntie, I need to get the Kalyana and Tithi calendar for the next month.
So yeah, and there's a Google Calendar my auntie recently made in case.
Okay, just one second. Before we move forward, I want to make sure the parents are listening to this. Are your parents around, Ashvi? Okay, Mahi, Dia, is your mom or dad around? I cannot hear you.
Our dad's here.
Okay, all right. So I want to make sure the parents are listening, okay? And then we are recording this, so we'll make sure that those who did not listen to it and watch it, do watch it later on. Okay, go ahead.
Do you have a printout since you guys don't have phones?
Remember, we used to give you the printed copy of the calendar every time when you came to class. You remember those days? Yeah, Aditya?
Yeah.
Huh. So tell them about that. How did you follow that?
So put it in a spot like you go to like a lot. So like if you study
Where do you put it? Where do you put it?
I mean, I have a desk which I study in.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here, and like you just put it on top of the desk, like what month it is. And
so
then,
it's right there, so you get to see it every time, right? Okay.
Yeah. And another, so like, I mean, that's basically how I do the calendar things.
Mm-hmm.
And because Navpadji is here, you can, Nyanti also posts Kamasanas you have to do, what you have to say, like what mantras you have to say. So it's even easier I guess, to like do them.
Mhm.
So Atiti
Have
Sambhavana.
you been doing your kamashna and your mantra daily? Yeah.
I
So
mean,
you listen to that, Mahi, Dia, Ashvi. He's been doing his kamashnas and his mantra every day. What about Samiksha? Samiksha, have you been able to do it? I cannot hear you, Bita.
Not yet, but I was going to catch up on the ones that I missed today.
Okay. So if you miss something, you can always catch up the next day, but you have to make sure you catch up soon. Otherwise, there's so much that will pile up that you'll be like, oh my God, I cannot do this anymore. So you want to do this every day. What?
Akshat is there too. You can
Okay, Akshat, are you here?
Yeah.
See him. Okay, here he is. All right, Akshat.
Have you
So
been doing?
have you been doing your daily practices, your Jain 24/7? I haven't
Yeah.
checked your sheet today. So I know you've been also on top of it. So you can share some of your ideas on how you make sure you remember to do it.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to point out that when I was moving, I did pretty much the same thing Aditya did. Like, I would keep some like paper, that like reminding me that like, hey, instead of like watching something like watching a YouTube video, just do this if you have time. I would write that, and then since I moved, I would keep it near me, like in my pocket or something. So if I was like taking a bath, I would feel it, and then I would look at it one more time before and then I would realize that, hey, I have to do this. And then I think after doing something for like 20, 21 days straight, then it becomes a habit. So I've used the sheet less and less, but to just do the same thing over and over for 21 days, and then it'll become a habit.
Now, when like can you tell, like, do you do certain things in morning, certain things in evening? How do you break them out?
Well, I mean, it's just uh, I think it's a little bit of like what you expect us to do in the morning, like three kamashana. That is morning. Other than that, everything falls like if I have time for it or not. Like I have school sometimes, so I might just do like the 12 nokars like after school or something. So yeah.
Okay, Aditya, you want to tell us how you break up your day? Like, do you do this? You've been pretty consistent. Dhruv is not here. He's also been doing it very consistently, and he does. I know that he kind of breaks up his day so that everything is not piled up all together and becomes too much at the end of the day. So, Aditya, you want to tell us how you do that?
whenever like I go to the Bhagan room and like do Jai Bhagan or like whatever, I say the Darpan Puja dua. So like whenever I take a shower, I do the Darpan Puja and I do Jai.
That's a very good idea. So how about everybody? Can everybody? Did everybody hear? And can you also do the same thing right after you do shower? Take your shower, go to where your prayer room is, where Bhagwan picture or murti is, and you can do the some stuti, and you can also do Darpan Puja at the same time. Yeah, Yashvi, what do you want to say?
Ashvi, you have something to say? Yeah, go ahead.
So sometimes, so I have school, so can I do Kamasamran and Guruvandana in the evening?
You can, but you know what will happen as Ashvi, as Aditya and Akshat and everybody and Samiksha will also tell you that if you keep everything for the end of the day, then it'll be too much when you grow up. Then it'll be like, oh my God, I have so much to do. But you can do it. Yeah, you don't want to miss it. You want to make sure you do it that day.
Better to do in the evening than to miss it. But
Right.
if you can try to do some things in the morning, like very few, even if it's just the three kamashamnas and the Darpan Puja, if you can do those in the morning, because that will take only 5 minutes. So like just before eating something, if you guys don't take shower in the morning, then you can do it just before eating something. Or if you take a shower, then do it right after taking shower.
What
Okay, so-
about what about your all of your Atiti Samvibhag Bhavna, that magnet that we gave you? Remember?
So
Yeah.
before I eat, so the Atiti Sambhavna, I keep it in a place like where when I eat, I can see it. So that reminds me like, oh yeah, you have to do that.
Good.
Yes, so
And
everybody can do that, right? That's why it's like a magnet. So you can just put it on your dining table, Does everybody have it on their dining table?
If
or-
you have a peanut butter jar or any jar which is the tin jar, an iron tin jar, it will stick on that jar. So because it's a magnet, so you can keep it right there near your dinner table, so you remember to say it every day while before you eat something.
I
And
memorized it. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Akshat, what
So
were
if
you
you have
saying?
memorized it, then you don't need to look at
Mm.
it. But otherwise, it's a good reminder
Right.
to form the habit initially.
So what the whole point is, like, if you say it every day, then you'll get to a point where you remember it so well that you don't have to like carry the magnet everywhere. So then the magnet is in your head. It's stuck in your head. And then you will have it wherever you are. So if you go like on a trip somewhere, on a vacation somewhere, and you're
Nice place.
like just about to eat something, and then you'll remember, oh, I have to say my Atiti Samvibhag Bhavana, and then that will automatically come to you, right?
And you have 3 chances to say it. So like even
Yeah.
if you miss breakfast, you can still say it at lunch, and even if you miss it at lunch, you can still say it at dinner.
Right.
So that's great. Okay. Anything else? Like, how about your 108 Naukar, or Aditya does 54 Naukar if he cannot do the 108? So how do you achieve that, Aditya?
So before I sleep, basically, I say it, and you all like had a competition or challenge where you had to say 108 enough cars.
Every
Like,
day.
yeah, and you already said it a lot, and you already kind of created a habit. So it's probably a little easier for you because whenever you said the 108 enough cars, you can say your 54 or 108 enough cars.
Right. Okay, great. Awesome. So thank you. And Ravin or Dhara, if you are around, and if you can tell us what is it. I saw your post, Ravin, pushing and sometimes getting mad at Ashvi. Is that what you have to do? Ashvi, they shouldn't have to get mad at you. You do it on your own, right? Because you like doing it.
So she likes doing it, but she doesn't want me to tell you anything.
She's embarrassed. Okay.
So yes, we have to get upset with her sometimes. Sometimes we just try to encourage her to do it.
I'm glad you're after it. I'm glad that Dhara and both of you are really, making sure that she does it.
Sure, we do
Making
that.
sure that it's entered.
One
because-
complaint I have about her. Hold on. No, no.
Stop
No,
it.
she won't get mad at you.
Okay,
All
beta,
right.
it's fine.
So how she does her Naukar mantra so quick. Sometimes within 7-8 minutes is done. I'm like, honey, I cannot get done in 7 minutes. How you doing it? So, but she will fight with me.
So Ashvi, are you saying the Naukar mantra? Are you actually doing the Naukar mantra in your mind, or are you skipping it
How
sometimes?
are you counting? Are you using your hand or the
You do
mala?
with your hand? Okay, very good.
So she does 12 times 9.
Uh-huh.
So that's what she's
Good.
doing, but I believe she's going too fast. Maybe she's missing some pods in between, or she might be just missing the finger or something and get done quicker.
So you want to make
It's
sure,
not intentional.
but I understand.
If her attention is not
Yeah.
getting diverted, then it is possible to do it in 8 minutes. So it's
So,
not unrealistic.
Ravin, one thing to keep in mind is when they are younger, they can do it a lot faster than us. We have
Okay.
way too many distractions in our head, and we have too many things that
Okay.
we don't even realize we have going on
Okay.
in our head as we grow older. And that's why this whole point of, making it a habit for them. So if she's doing it
Okay.
fast, she's probably, I trust Ashvi. I don't think she's lying. And I know that she would not lie about Naukar mantra.
She won't
ever.
lie. No, she won't lie.
Yes. So just make sure you're saying it. Okay. We don't want to like rush just because we want to finish it. Yes. Because we want to make sure that we are burning our karmas. We are destroying our karmas while we are saying it. That's the most important thing. Okay. So if we rush, we skip and we don't say the whole thing, then it's not going to have the same effect. Just keep that in mind. Okay. But I'm glad you're doing it every day. I'm very proud of you. And all of you, I'm very proud that each one of you is attempting to do it. I know it's a challenge. Now, one thing I want to share, I think I've shared this with the ITOT kids several times. and I will tell the Jain Jeans parents and kids that we will never ask you to do something that we don't do ourselves. So the Jain 24/7 stuff that you have on your sheet, Rakesh uncle and I do it every day. And we have a much longer list of things that we do in the day, but these are the minimum things that we would do every single day. So we will never ask you to or force you to do something that we are not doing. Okay, that's a promise. So if I'm doing the 108, only then I will tell Ashvi to do the 108 nauka. If I am cleaning my plate and thali dhoine few and I clean it completely, only then I will ask you to do it. And I do it for every meal. And Rakesh uncle does it for every meal. He does it. Sometimes he has to like hide it and do it when he is in his office, but he still does it because other people are watching. So they don't know what he's doing and they're wondering what's going on, but he still does it. He puts some water in his food jar and he cleans the food jar and just drinks it.
Wow.
So he does it every single day, every meal. I do it, and that's why I'm asking all of you to do it. There's a huge benefit for
Parents
it.
can help out by being the role models. And
Yes,
try to do
yes,
some of them, at least, if
that's
not
the
all.
key.
We've
That's
been trying what we can. Like Thai doing it, Piwanu, we are doing it with her. At least when she's doing it, we are doing it too. So
or it
that's a
could be the
benefit to
reverse.
us.
Or it
That's
could be the reverse. Sometimes the kids will be the role model.
Yeah,
So
that's what it is.
we
And
learn from them.
that's
Which is
helping us a
fine.
lot.
Which is fine. Okay, all right. So let's move on with our Navpadji class. And let me go ahead and screen share here so that I can pull up the presentation. Okay, so everyone knows that we have the Navpad Oli going on, and Navpad and Oli. Can someone tell us what the word Navpad means? Yeah, you can go for a second. Can someone tell us what is Navpad? Yeah, someone was trying to talk.
So there's 9 pads in the Navkar mantra as well, and they're Arihant, Sid, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu Sadhi. And then there's Gyan, Darshan, Charitra, and Tap.
Very good.
And all those combine together to make the 9 pads.
Correct. So that's the Navpad. There are 9 entities or 9 important things in life, the most important things in life to focus on. And those are the 5 Panch Parmeshti. Diya and Mahi, are you paying attention? I'm going to ask you in the test, and if you are distracted and you're not paying attention, then you won't know what to answer. Pay attention to what's going on here. So which are the Navpads? Do you remember? What did Aditya just say? Mahi and Diya. Don't unmute. I requested all of you to please don't mute rather. Keep unmuted all the time so that I can hear you and you can respond immediately. Mahi and Diya, you're still muted, beta. So it's okay if there's some noise in the background. I understand, okay, Heath? That's fine. All right, Mahi, Diya, you want to tell us what is Navpad? Come on, hurry up. You don't remember? Okay, Ashvi, you want to tell us?
Wait, Nanti, I think I know.
Okay, Akshat, go ahead.
It's like the 9 supreme posts.
Correct.
Like the things that are essential in our universe, like you said.
Right. So the 9 are these pad. Now, if you have seen in the puja, when we do puja in the derasar, we have this chakra. Okay, a chakra is a circle, and in this circle we have all of the 9 pads mentioned. So in the middle, where you see in the middle, do you see the slide? Are you seeing Arihant there in the middle? All of you? Yes? Okay. So that is the Arihant pad. Okay, so Namo Arihantanam. Then the second day is Namo Siddhanam. So we have 9 days of Navpadoli and we have each pad on each day. Okay, so the first day we said Om Rim Namo Arihantanam. That was the mantra. How many of you said the mantra? Please raise your hand. Did you say the Namo Arihant, Om Rim Namo Arihantanam mantra?
Just Aditya.
Okay, just Aditya. Nobody else? I don't see the rest of you here. Let me just put the screen share on. Okay, so make sure you're saying the mantra on the day that we have the Navpad. So the very first day we
So
have.
if you don't know what the mantra is, ask your parents, because we are putting it on the in the group, on the WhatsApp group, so they will know. They will be able to tell you what the mantra is.
So Om Rim Namo Arihantanam is the first one. Om Rim Namo Siddhanam is the second pad. Okay. Om Rim Namo Ayaryanam is today. Today is the third day of Navpad Oli and it is the day for Acharya Maharaj Sahib. Okay. Then the fourth one is Om Rim Namo Uvajjayanam. So that is for Upadhyay Maharaj Sahib. And then the last day is Om Rim Namo Loe Savva Sahunam. So that is for Sadhu Sadhviji Maharaj Sahib.
So actually the first 5 are easy because they've come from the Naukar mantra, which you already know. So all you need to do is add Om Rim, Om and Rim, and then the line from the Naukar mantra.
So those are the first 5. So is that clear? Anybody has any questions about the first 5? Is that clear? Okay, good. All right. Now the next 4 are the ones that are really important. Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan, Samyak Charitra, and Samyak Tap. Okay. And we're going to talk about each of these in more detail. All right. So let me go on to the next slide here. So we'll talk about this and then we'll go back to talking about Ambil after that. So Arihant are the ones who have conquered their inner enemies. And their inner enemies, yeah, someone wants to say something? Background. Okay, so yeah, I think it's really loud. I don't know who is. Okay. So Arihant is one who has conquered the inner enemies. And who are the inner enemies? Anybody? We've talked about it in class.
Mohanya.
Yeah.
Mahi, Dia, you want to answer that? Who are the inner enemies? We talked about it in the previous class.
Mohanya.
Mohaniya, no. We talked about something else in the previous class. Yes, Mohaniya karma is the biggest enemy. But who are the smaller enemies that all form
What
together?
What
makes up Mohaniya karma?
And there is a hint on the screen.
No, they don't know.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead. Dia, you wanted to answer? I saw you. Anger, very good. Aged, yeah, aged. Okay. So that's the acronym, but what's the full form? Come on, loud.
Anger, greed, ego, and deceit.
Very good. Excellent. So those are the Krodh, Man, Maya, and Lobh, and all of them together along with Mithyatva forms Mohaniya karma. Okay. And there is much more to Mohaniya karma, but this is these are the main parts of the Mohaniya karma. So those are the inner enemies. Those are enemies that are there in all of us.
Okay.
Okay. And that whoever has conquered those are called Arihant. They have destroyed those enemies. Ari is enemy and Hant is destroyer. So they have destroyed all of these enemies. And they have given us the path to liberation. The path of liberation, we put POL here because we didn't have place, but it stands for path of liberation. So they have given us the whole path. They have told us how to conquer these inner enemies. And that's why we pray to them first. Okay, because they show us the way to liberation. Then the second pad is for Siddh Bhagwan. And when you did your assignments, all of you, Mahi, Diya, Ashvi, and Heath, I think there was some confusion as to who is Arihant and who is Siddh. And you had the two confused. So I want to make sure that we clarify that. Does someone from the ITOT want to tell us the difference between Arihant and Siddh? Samiksha? Samiksha, you there?
Yeah, I said that Siddh Bhagwan have already been liberated. Their souls are already.
Speak up a little bit louder.
Siddh Bhagwan have already been liberated, so their souls are already in Siddhishila.
Right. So they have already been liberated. So they have destroyed all their karmas. Arihant Bhagwan has destroyed the 4 main karmas, and Siddh Bhagwan have destroyed all 8 karmas. So in total, there are 8 karmas, 8 type of karmas, and all 8 have been destroyed by Siddh Bhagwan. And therefore, they are completely liberated. They are on Siddhishila. They are experiencing bliss, happiness all the time. Okay, so that's the Arihant and Siddh. So make sure you have this clarified. Arihant Bhagwan and Siddh Bhagwan, both of them, we pray to them, both of them are Bhagwan, but Arihant Bhagwan still has a body. They are still in a body. They are still present on the Manushya Lok. So they are on the earth where we live. And Siddh Bhagwan are completely liberated. They don't have a body anymore. And they are on the top of the universe. They go all the way on the top of the universe on Siddhishila, and they are completely happy. They will be never born again. Arihant Bhagwan is also never born again. Okay, they don't have to take another birth, but they still have a body, and so it's every Arihant will become a Siddh. Is that clear, everyone? Yeah, Mahi. Mahi.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
My first one is in the Derasar, when we go there, like then there's this like where all the Bhagwans are from Arihant to Maha, not to from first all the 24 Bhagwans. Then and after Mahavir Swami, there's Simandar Swami. Is he a Siddh Bhagwan or is he a Arihant?
He's a Arihant Bhagwan. He is still an Arihant Bhagwan. He will become Siddh. He will become Siddh after quite some long time. So we still have time to go meet him. We have a chance to meet him if we want to. So he is in another part of the universe, which is called Mahavidek Kshetra. So he is Siddh Bhagwan. He is not yet, he's an Arihant Bhagwan. He is not yet a Siddh Bhagwan. So that's a good question.
Yeah, and my second question is Acharya and Upadhyaya, are they also Bhagwan or
So we call all of them Bhagwan, all Sadhu Bhagwan. We say Upadhyaya Bhagwan and we say Acharya Bhagwan. All of them are Bhagwan, but they are at different stages. They are at different stages. So like how Diya is was a small baby, and then now she's a little bit of a bigger baby, and then Mahi is a big girl now, and Ashvi is also going to become a big girl now, and then you will become a lady after that. So like that, the Upadhyay, the Sadhu Bhagwan, they progress into becoming Upadhyay Bhagwan. Some of them do become Acharya Bhagwan. And then there is an opportunity for them. They have done so much already that they can either become Kevali or Siddh Bhagwan, or some of them even might become Arihant Bhagwan. Okay, so this is a progress. So it's like a progress of our soul. And the reason why we pray in Navpad is to understand that all of us, all Jeeves have the potential to be all of this. Because all Jeeves have the other four qualities that we will worship in the Navpad, which is Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan, Samyak Charitra, and Samyak Tap. Okay, so all four are qualities of the soul. So Samyak Darshan is right faith. And we titled our Pathshala class by the meaning of this, which is I am that and only that. And what is that? Samiksha, she wrote a whole essay on it. Samiksha,
Yeah, we are the soul.
what does that mean? Can you tell us?
It means that we're not the body and we're not attached to any parts of the body. We're
So when Rakesh Uncle was talking to Hit the other day, he was explaining what is it that is the soul. So Hit, you want to tell us what happens when somebody dies? Hit, are you there? I think you're on mute.
Yeah. So when we die, basically, either
What
either
stays? What stays here and what goes?
your body stays and soul goes.
Right. So who is it that who is Hit? Is Hit the one that stays here and will get decayed and somebody will burn that body, or is Hit the soul? Is that confusing? Come on.
Yeah, I don't even get that one. I get it.
Okay, go ahead.
He will stay and his soul will go.
His soul will go, but who is Hit? Is Hit the body or the soul?
He's the body
Are you sure?
or the soul. Okay, now it's confusing.
Now I'm glad you are confused, because you know what? Because all of us have that confusion, and we still have that confusion. That whole confusion is called mithyatva. Okay, that whole confusion that you have, who am I, is mithyatva. Am I the body or am I the soul? Does my body need the food or does my soul need the food? Am I eating for myself or am I eating for my body? All of these questions, all of these confusions, those are the mithyatva. So Hit, coming back to this confusing question, what Arihant Bhagwan tells us is that the soul is us, the one that goes away into another body. That is the real us. And that soul can be as pure as Arihant Bhagwan, as pure, finally completely pure like Siddh Bhagwan. Each and every Jeev has that potential. And that's why Arihant Bhagwan and Siddh Bhagwan tell us to love all Jeevs. When we say Khameni Sabva Jeeve, forgive all the Jeevs, it's not just because we are trying to be just kind and very good people. It's because all those Jeevs have the potential to become Siddh Bhagwan. So each and every Jeev has that potential. Okay, and that's why we want to be kind to them. That's why we want to love each and every Jeev. Is that clear? Yes? Okay. So that having that faith that I am the soul and not the body, right now we don't experience that. I feel cold, so I'm wearing the shawl and the sweater, and I feel hungry, so I'm eating. I feel tired, so I want to rest. All of those things are to do with my body, right? Because I believe that I am the body. But I have faith in Bhagwan. I have faith that what Bhagwan has told us is the true thing. Is that too confusing? Diya and Mahi, are you paying attention?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to have faith in Bhagwan that I am the soul and not the body. And that is Samyak Darshan. Okay? That is Samyak Darshan. That is the right faith. Then I learn more about what Bhagwan has told us. Why is it that Bhagwan is saying all of this? So when we study what Bhagwan has taught us, like the stuff we study in Pathshala here, about all the Ekendriya, Beindriya, Tendriya, all the different type of jeevs, what happens to the jeev, what is the true nature of the soul, what is it that I can do and what is it that I cannot control, what are things in my control and not in my control, all of that is Samyak Gnan. So when we have faith, first we have to have faith. If we don't have faith, we are not even going to pay attention, right? We're not really going to gain the right knowledge. So we listen to the Bhagwan's teachings and we learn about the Bhagwan's teachings. And who gives us those teachings? Who gives us all of these teachings? Come on, Akshat, Aditya.
Bhagwan does.
Bhagwan does, but does Bhagwan come here directly to talk to you?
No.
Who is coming to talk to you?
So it's your guru.
Right, very good, Akshat. So gurus are the ones that give us the knowledge. So the guru is Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu Bhagwan. Sadhu and Sadhviji. Okay, we say Sadhu here, but it means Sadhu and Sadhviji, everybody. So all of them, they study their full-time job. They are completely focused on learning about what Bhagwan has taught. And then they give that knowledge to us. They simplify that knowledge, make it easy to understand, and then they explain it to us and they tell us. And not only they explain it, what do? They walk the talk. Do you know what is walk the talk?
They do what they say.
Nobody knows what is walk the talk?
They do what they say.
They do what they say. Right, exactly. So there, it's not like they're saying something that yes, I should be kind to all Jews, and then they don't care, and they waste electricity, or they use vehicles, or they use the phone, or they touch the live things like plants or water or any of the Jeeves. So if they don't follow what they say, then really it's not true knowledge, right? If once you understand something, you should be able to follow it. So they follow it and they have Samyak Charitra, that is right conduct, right behavior. Okay, so that is Samyak Charitra. Is that clear, everybody? I'm going to ask you to explain all of this, okay? So if you are not taking notes or if you're not understanding, you should ask. All right, good. So that is Samyak Charitra. That is the 8th day of Navpad Oli. We will be celebrating Samyak Charitra. We'll be talking about what is Samyak Charitra or trying to understand it even better. Right now, we're just talking about a summary. So the next thing that we do after we understand all of this, we start putting it into practice. Then it becomes our nature. Once you do something, like, you know, how Akshat says is, hey, if I do something for 21 days, then it becomes a habit. And there is science behind it. Actually, it's a little more than 21 days. I think it's 64 days or something like that. I'm getting an echo back. Can you hear me okay? Okay.
For us, you're kind of breaking up.
It's breaking up? Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's like...
Now it's good?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you do something repeatedly, you have samyak charitra all the time, then it becomes samyak tap. And samyak tap is our nature, is our true nature. That is how we truly are. And that the process is dhyan. The process is meditation. It becomes a meditation. It becomes your nature. So something that you do over and over and over again becomes your nature. And that's why it becomes samyak tap, because dhyan is tap. And that is how we destroy our karma. So the whole process of the path to liberation is explained in the Navpad. Do parents have any questions? Any of the parents that are attending? Ashvi, you're answering for your dad?
My dad's not here right now.
Okay, they are not here. Okay, so they will have to listen to the recording, okay? All right, because I'm going to ask them the questions too. They have to answer the test. Like all the ITOT parents had to give a test. All the JJ parents will also have to give a test.
Yes,
So is this clear to everybody? Now you understand like the basic of what is Navpad? What are we praying to during the Navpad? Is that clear? Does anyone has any questions? Heath, you have any questions? No?
Explain Samay Top again.
Samyak tap, not samaik tap, it is samyak tap, okay? Samyak. So samyak is right. It's the, how should I put it? It's the way of thinking that Bhagwan has given us. Samyak means the thinking that Bhagwan has given us, and tap is tapasya. Okay, have you heard the word tapasya? Somebody did some tap. We usually talk about tap like ambil, we talk about upvas. You heard about that, right, Hit? So all those are also tap, but ultimately the reason why we are doing all those stuff is so that we can go within ourselves. So yeah, so our Rakesh uncle is giving a good example that someone can eat less just so because they are dieting, because the doctor told them, hey, you need to lose weight, you have too much cholesterol, right? So that's not tap. That is not samyak tap. Samyak tap is when we overcome our desires, when we overcome our desire to eat. So in this Ambel Oli, the focus has, like, one of the things that everybody practices or everybody tries to practice or should be doing during Navpad Oli is trying to overcome their desire for tasty food. And that's why we do Ambel tap. Has everyone heard about Ambel? So one minute. So just to answer Hit's question again, Samyak Tap is when our charitra becomes a habit. So Samyak Charitra, on top of Samyak Tap, I have written Samyak Charitra. You see that? Samyak Charitra is the right behavior. It's the behavior that Bhagwan has recommended to us. This is how we should follow things. This is what we should do. And when we do this over and over and over again, it becomes our nature and it becomes a meditation. When something becomes our nature, it becomes a meditation. It's on the back of our mind all the time. Something that we do automatically. That is called meditation. So that becomes meditation, and therefore it leads to nirjara, it leads to destruction of karma. Does that make sense? Sort of? Hey?
You can ask more questions.
So you can ask more questions. If it's not clear, let us know. So here, there are a lot of acronyms as usual. Rakesh uncle has prepared this slide, so he puts a lot of acronyms in his slide. And the MVK here stands for Man, Vachan, Kaya. So right conduct is to use Man, Vachan, Kaya. Man is mind, Vachan is words, and kaya is actions, our bodily actions. When we use all of that towards our true nature, towards us being a soul and not the body, then that is right conduct. Okay? And when that right conduct, as I said, becomes our nature, when it becomes a habit, then it becomes the right meditation, it becomes the samyak tap. And that finally will lead to destroying our karmas. So, Hit, you did Saraswati Pujan before this, right? So, why do we do Saraswati Pujan? Do you know?
No,
Then why did you do it?
I mean I was just staying with my dad. I mean I went to my friend's house and did it there.
Okay. So one thing we want to make sure is that we understand what we are doing, right? Anytime you do something, make it a habit to question, to try to understand why we are doing something. So Saraswati is a Devi that is representing knowledge. But one of the things we want to make sure is that we get to Samyak Gnan, which is the right knowledge. And the Devi is somebody who follows Bhagwan, who follows Arihant Bhagwan. Okay. So if Arihant Bhagwan's teachings are being taught somewhere, then the Devi is there. So right now, when I am teaching this class, the Devi is present in the class. So the words itself are Saraswati. The words of Bhagwan are Saraswati. So when we understand, when we are trying to understand the knowledge, that itself is the puja. Okay. So the physical puja that we do to the Devi is just a formality. It's just a formality. But the Devi is not going to be happy if you don't study. So the more important thing is to be present in the class on time. All right. And that is the true puja of Saraswati. So we don't want to insult, we don't want to go against the words and against the actual knowledge and then do puja, because then it just becomes a formality. All right. So keep that in mind. All right. Anyone has any questions about Navpad? Nobody? Okay. So we'll talk about Ambil quickly, and we have a video to show you. So everyone knows what is Ambil Tap? No? So these are the things that are done in Ambil. And we talked about Man, Vachan, Kaya, right? So putting those in line and controlling all of those, mind, body, and speech. One of the way in which we control our mind and our body and our speech, all of those things is by our food, the type of food we eat. So these are the things that we do in Ambil Tap. We try to avoid tasty and rich foods, and we eat all the dal and the pulses, all the legumes. Somebody said something? You had a question?
No, she was just saying I avoid ghee all the time.
She avoids ghee all the time. Very good. Correct. So that is one of the Laghu Vigai that we have to avoid. So what is allowed in Ambil? A few things that are allowed in Ambil are salt, pepper, soot, which is dried ginger powder, and then there is methi powder. Okay, those are the only 4 things that are allowed. They are not tasty really. So they are not done for taste, but just so that the food is not completely bland. But the original Ambil is done even without all of this. So without Aluna Ambil is like the highest level of Ambil where you don't even use salt. Okay, so only grains, no leafy vegetables, no fruits, and also no milk, ghee, butter, none of those things, and no sugar either in the food. Right. So all of this, you see this? All of these are no. No nuts either, no yogurt.
Why
Yeah, someone has questions about this?
Yeah, why can't you like eat fruits or vegetables? I like know why you can't eat dairy, but why can't you eat like nuts, oil, sugar, greens, and fruits?
Right. So when you eat fruits, where do fruits come from?
Trees and
Right. Right. And when you have to cut a fruit or when you have to eat a fruit, then
oh yeah,
that fruit is alive. Okay, at
right.
that time. So and after 48 minutes, then the life completely goes out of it. So on that day, on the ambil day, we don't use a knife. In all of the ambil cooking, there is no knife used. Knife is a symbol of violence, right? It hurts. And so we don't want to hurt a single living being in the ambil food. At least we want to avoid or we want to minimize completely as much as we can. So we don't eat anything that is alive. And then the same way nuts are also gotten from, nuts are rich food. They are supposed to be they have fat in them, they have oil in them. So anything that has fat or oil in them, we avoid that, because all of these are tasty foods. Nuts are tasty, right? Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
So, right. So, all of these things we want to overcome our taste. That is the main purpose of ambil. So, only if we can overcome our taste, we can taste our soul. If we can overcome the external taste, then we can taste what is inside us. Anyone else has any other questions? Good question, Mahi. Mahi always has good questions. All right. Huh? Somebody, yeah, I cannot see you guys, so you'll have to speak up, beta. Ashvi has a question.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
Why all the dairy products aren't allowed?
Why aren't all the dairy products allowed? Someone wants to answer that question from the ITOT class?
I think I know why milk isn't allowed.
Okay.
Because
Go ahead.
because it's from cows,
Right.
and then and to get milk out of cows, sometimes they use this machine.
Mm-hmm. Not just machine, but in the dairy industry here in the United States especially, all of the cows are slaughtered. Each and every cow from the dairy is slaughtered. So they end up in the slaughterhouse once they stop giving milk. So they are basically used as machines to give milk to us, and then they are killed after that. So it's an extremely, extremely violent industry. And that's the reason why we want to avoid milk and all other dairy products during Ambil. Okay. Anyone else has any other questions? Okay. All right. So we'll watch one video, a short video on Navpadji Oli. And this is prepared by the Young Jains of America. Like there are many other young Jains all over the United States, like all of you. And we'll have to, I think it doesn't click, so we'll have to copy it and put it into the browser. Okay, just give us a second here so that we can get to our YouTube here.
Can you guys see the browser?
No.
Oh, it's frozen.
Loading how you're minimizing the screen. It's like still loading now.
I
Hello?
think PowerPoint.
It's loading like
It's loading. Okay. Now
Yeah.
can you see it?
Please.
it's like it's still on the minimizing screen, like where you press a yellow button.
Oh, okay. I see. Stop share. So here they've given the.
Navpadji, we cannot hear the
Yeah,
video.
yeah, 1 second. I'm trying to
During
figure out.
Navpadoli, Jains worshipped the Navpad, or the 9 supreme entities.
So can you all see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is. Can you hear?
We're right around the corner from Navpadoli, the most important holiday in Jainism. Navpadoli lasts for 9 days and occurs twice in the year, once in the fall and once in the spring. During Navpadoli, Jains worship the Navpad, or the 9 supreme entities. Navpadoli is also known as Ambaloli, for the special kind of fast performed during those 9 days. But what exactly is Ambal? Here to tell us is Rishi Zaveri.
Ambal is a type of fast where we eat only once in a day and where we avoid any tasty or rich foods.
Is everybody watching, Ashvi? You're not watching the video? Pay attention because this video goes fast, okay? All right, everybody please pay attention.
This includes fruits and vegetables, spices, and the 6 Lagu Vigas. The 6 Lagu Vigas include milk, ghee, yogurt, sugar, oil, and fried foods. Instead, we can consume grains like wheat or rice and pulses like mung dal and chana dal. The reason we do this is to gain control of our 5 senses, especially the sense of taste. And also, by doing this, we increase our spiritual fortitude.
Thanks for that, Rishi. So now we've delved into what Ambal is, as well as how it helps us reduce our attachment to taste. There are several health benefits to avoiding the 6 Lagu Vigas as well. Here to tell us more about that is Dr. Pradesh Mehta, gastroenterologist from the Jain community.
Jai Jinendra. Let's talk about benefits of Ambal. There are about 100 trillion microorganisms that live in your gut, called microbiome. They produce different chemicals which are absorbed by the gut. These chemicals send signals to communicate with your brain, skin, heart, liver, really entire body. This microbiome is not all bad. It is composed of a combination of good bacteria and bad bacteria. The food you eat not only nourishes you, but also this microbiome. The bad bacteria thrive on certain specific foods such as dairy and dairy products, including milk, butter, cheese, yogurt, sugar, and foods with added sugar, oil, and deep fried foods. These bacteria, bad bacteria, release chemicals that give you skin trouble, stomach trouble, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, mental health disorders such as depression, anxiety, mood swings, poor memory. Whereas if you give up these foods and start eating whole grains and other fiber-rich whole foods, the good bacteria thrives. Your skin troubles resolve, you lose that extra weight, stomach troubles resolve, and you become really healthy overall, including your mental health, your anxiety, depression, mood swings, all of that improves. You're able to handle the stress better, and your immunity improves. Hippocrates said 2 things. Food is thy medicine, and the root cause of all illness is in your gut. Ambal has another benefit. Eating 1 small meal a day activates ketone bodies, which helps with all the above diseases, and also it improves the brain function. Your IQ improves. This was researched by Dr. Mark Matheson at Johns Hopkins University.
Intersection of science and Jainism is amazing. Thank you, Pradesh Uncle. We hope you try to complete an Ambal this Navpadoli, and if you can't, try avoiding at least one of the 6 Lagu Vigas for each of the 9 days of Navpad. With that, Let us know if you have any questions, and thank you for watching. Feel free to visit yja.org/Navpadoli for more information.
So some of you might have recognized Zaveri, Rishi Zaveri, who had visited our class. He lives in Michigan, and he is a young Jain. He is a part of YJA. And the girl that was talking before, her name is not on here. She's Harshita. She's the director of education for YJA. And Dr. Pritesh Mutha is a young Pachala teacher. He teaches Pachala in another center. And he's also a gastroenterologist. So he also helped prepare this video. So, all right. Anybody has any questions about the video you watched or about Navpad Oli? You have some idea about what you need to do for this Navpad Oli? Yeah? Nobody has any questions? If not, then we'll end. We are actually 15 minutes over time. So let's do our end stutis. You know what to do for the rest of the Navpad Oli days, right? Everybody? Can somebody summarize what you need to do on a daily basis? Aditya, you want to tell us?
Try to limitize stuff that you like that take pleasure in the five senses, like things that you like to do that enhance your
taste
senses.
Great, awesome. Are you going to try to do an amble?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, great. All right. So we have actually a challenge going on. I haven't told the ITOT class about the challenge going on in Jain Jeans class. The Jain Jeans class has a challenge of a thali dhoke pina. So everybody has to clean their plate and drink the water and do that every day for as many meals as possible and like note it down. So everybody's been doing that. I don't have pictures here on the presentation to show you, but I'll share it on our summer class group where everybody is on that group, so you can all see how everyone is doing. And that's awesome. That's great. Heath, you tried doing that. It was a little difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I know. Akshat, you want to tell us the secret of how you do it? Akshat is an expert on thali dhoine pivan, right? Akshat, where are you? Akshat is on mute. Okay, I don't know where he is. All right. Anyone else wants to amble? I think Samiksha has tried amble before. It's really easy for Samiksha because I'm laughing, but it's difficult for everybody. But it's easy for Samiksha because she can eat idli and dosa, and it will still be amble food for her, and that's her staple food anyway, right? Of Samiksha.
Yeah, that's my favorite food too, so I should be able to do it.
But without chutney and without sambar.
That would be raw.
We used to have amble for the Pachala class. Before we used to do a get together in our house and do it together, and that was fun. So make sure you want to share something about those golden days.
Yeah, I liked doing that. I wish we could do that again. But I didn't realize there were so many different Ayambo dishes. Even if they aren't all tasty, you can still have variety in an Ayambo meal. And I think more than the Ayambo food, the hardest part was for me was still the tali do pina. So it wasn't actually as hard as you think it is. So everybody should at least.
It's not that difficult, right, Samiksha?
It's not. Yeah.
You just gulp it down and you have a clean plate. And actually, Ashvi and Mahi and Dia have been doing fantastic. Even Heath is going to try. He did try it one day. So their plates are so clean that you almost think like they've not even been used. And they've been sending us pictures of their plates and them doing it. So that's pretty awesome. Now, the ITOT class has a challenge going on too for Chovyar and for Guru Vandan. How is that going for all of you? Anyone's been doing the Chovyar and Guru Vandan daily?
I did Chovia for the first day. But then I
Did?
couldn't.
Awesome.
So-
Very good. And it's challenging for all of these kids because they have so many assignments and so many things going on even after school. So for as they get older, they get busier and they don't talk to me as often. Otherwise, I used to talk to them every day. But so, you know, it's really nice that you're trying to do the chovia. So chovia is not eating after sunset. I think most of you know it, but you know, it's basically not eating after sunset, not eating or drinking anything. How about Guru Vandan? Anybody's doing Guru Vandan every day?
I did one.
Aditya,
I did one.
you did one? Okay. So it's a challenge we have going on, and come on, guys, you know, we have to do better than this, not just once. Guru Vandan is done twice a day, right? So try to fit it into your schedule. I know you have already the Gen 24/7 activities that you're doing daily, diligently, and this is just a little more for Navpad, okay? So Akshat, you want to say something? You
No, I was just
disappeared.
showing my dad the camera was on like kill mode. So that's why it wasn't working. So we were trying to figure out how to make it work.
We were wondering where you disappeared.
Yes,
Your
the
new
camera was on
house,
kill mode.
Akshat, your new house is so huge that we cannot find you. You get lost.
No, and my house is not that big. It's not a mansion.
Okay, we'll see your house soon. So
Yeah.
Akshat has a new house, and congratulations to all of them. And they
Thank
are
you.
going to do a Vastu Puja soon, which everyone, all of you, will participate in, including Akshat. So we'll have that soon, and we'll you know, have a remote participation like we did for the other pujas. Okay. All right. Anyone has anything else to share? Okay, if not, then we'll do our end stutis. So, yeah, Ashki, you want to share something? Yeah, go ahead.
Question.
Oh, she has a question. Okay, go ahead.
So I did the mantra for yesterday.
Okay,
Good. Question.
That was not question.
What's the question?
I have
No, you gotta ask. I'm not asking for you. Go ahead and ask.
no idea.
Hurry up, we have to go. We have another class. I'm missing my Girish uncle's class.
So what it is, like on the school days, she's not able to do the Kamashana and Guru Vandan in the morning. Is it okay if she does in the
No,
evening?
that was not question.
No, that wasn't the question. Okay, sorry then.
We already talked about it. Actually, she did Khama Samna and Duha and mantra yesterday. So she is wondering like where she put that in the spreadsheet.
Okay, I see, I see. So you can write it at the side of your sheet. So there is some place at the side of your sheet outside the, you know, where you have the markings. So you can just write there all the extra stuff that you did. Okay, but I'm glad you are actually thinking about your sheet. That's good. Like you want to know where you want to put it because you're doing it every day. That's very nice, Ashvi. I'm very proud of you. And all of you can do it. All right. Okay, anyone else has any other questions? Akshat, you want to do the last stutis, end stutis? Huh? No,
I can do a few.
you can do a few. Okay. All right, Kamemi.
Kamemi sabba jive sabbe jiva kamantu me mitti me sabba bhuvesu veramajjam kenai. Samastu sarva jagata parahinta bhavantu bhutkana dosha bhavantu nasanam sarvata sukhi bhavantu loka.
Sarvamangal.
Sarvamangala mangalyam sarvakalyana kalanam padaram sarvadharmanam jainam jayati sasanam.
Mangalam Bhagavan Viro. Who wants to say it? Mahi and Diya. Come on. Mangalam Bhagavan Viro. You know that one? No, not yet. Okay, Aditya.
Mangalam Bhagwan Viro, Mangalam Gautam Prabhu, Mangalam Stuli Bhadaya, Jaina Dharmasva Mangalam, Mangalam Bhagwan Viro, Mangalam Gautam Mugani, Mangalam Kundakundaya, Jaina Dharmasva Mangalam. Sarva Mangal Mangalyam, Sarva Kalyana Karanam, Padaram Sarva Dharmanam, Jainam Jeti
Shashanam, Jainam Jeti Shashanam. Okay, all right. Jai Jinendra, everyone.
Jai
Jai Jinendra.
Meet all of you in the middle of Oli, and it was a special class, so I'm glad you made time for it. and hope all of you can enjoy the rest of your Navpadoli Aradhana. Okay, everyone stay in Shata. Jai Jinendra. Bye bye.